New Zealand. They go through to the plate final. It's the Cup semi-final time. South Africa 2 in the standings against the newly crowned series champions for the second time, Fiji. Fiji lead 40-24 in the series, but never mind that. It's all about the here and now, Bob Skinstad.
Absolutely, both of these sides prepared for an almighty clash. South Africa have shuffled around some of the players, which you'll go through now, Wyndon. You and I were discussing it earlier. This is the pinnacle. It's the final tournament of the series. Both of them know they've got to get across their old foes to get into the final and win it. Nobody wants to go home with a semi-final berth.
Fiji claiming the centre ground there, the centre spot, as they often do. Final word of prayer from both teams, really, here. And interestingly, South Africa, they start with Tim Agaba and Ryan Kankowski in this one, ahead of Chris Troy and Captain Philip Schneemann. So Kyle Brown will lead South Africa there. He is wearing number 6 on his back. Fiji. And the Blitzbokker will have their work cut out here against a rampant Fiji.
South Africa has been fantastic all tournament. He'll kick it off.
So Africa kicks high, looking to put the ball right on the 10-meter line. It's an excellent kick taken there by the equally excellent Jerry Tuai. Viramalua gets the ball in his hands early, brushes aside some South African would-be tacklers. The ball is loose. Kankowski is there. Africa has a quick look. Agaba steps neatly off his right foot. You can't take your eyes off this match for 1 minute. Wait for the blue touch paper to be lit.
Yeah, that was lovely play there by Timothy Agaba. He went forward very quickly, stepped off the right foot. Fiji managing to avoid a couple of the South African tackles. It's a little bit of a gamesmanship going on for them, Fijians. They're very good at keeping South Africans on the floor and out of play. Here's the Agaba step, a lovely little step from him.
Talking of steps, Francois Huchard can't quite take it, just lost forward. Advantage Fiji, says referee Mike Adamson. Getting into his stride here is Kitione Talenga, giving chase is Kankowski, but he won't catch the Fijian. Kitione Talenga.
Oh, a brilliant try.
Love that one.
Brilliant try for Talenga. He's got a huge crowd here to support any of his exploits. It's a bad mistake between Hougaard and Kankowski. They're better players than that. They left South Africa with a lot to do. Kankowski desperately trying to reel in Talenga, but he's too strong and too fast.
And an easy kick for Sia Kolinisau from in front of the post. Kitione Talenga. Oh, Ben Ryan dropped him at one time after certain weight issues, which he's certainly overcome. Look at him go.
Well, it's the high-stepping Fijian sprint. And I can tell you, Ryan Kankowski is no slouch.
Talenga, he was the winner of the inaugural Newcomer Award at Hong Kong this year, in a prestigious award in memory of Beth Coulter, former tournament Sands tournament organizer who lost her life earlier on this year. Brown. Oh, gets it away to Dylan Sage. What a lovely pickup that was on his bootstraps from the South African number 7. Agaba. Well, he's got some pace too, some power, some strength. Look at this, look at this. Tim Agaba. Brilliant individual skills. Well, we were raising our eyebrows, weren't we, Bob Skinstad, when we saw that Tim Agaba was starting ahead of Philip Schneemann or Chris Troy.
Absolutely. He's what you would say third or fourth choice in the front row for South Africa, but he's a player who can play across all 3 positions in the front row. Neil Powell has had the faith to put him in the starting lineup, and his riposte for the team there was to shake off the attentions of the Fijians and score one that's very easily converted by South Africa. That is a brilliant run from Agaba. Watch the inside out. Yeah, he shakes off the attentions very early on from Katonibao. Felt he was maybe going a little bit across field here, but he knew where he was going.
Well, that number 3 shirt for South Africa carries some responsibility, worn by Frankie Horn for some 68 consecutive tournaments, and no one could rip it off his back. But now Tim Agaba has shown that he's got the credentials to wear it with pride. Katonibao to the try scorer Tilinga. Mata quickly snapped up there. It's going to be advantage South Africa. Kyle Brown, and South Africa will surely make Fiji pay here. The power, the strength of Kyle Brown takes him to the corner, takes him to the try line, and restores South Africa's lead.
Well, he's been known as Captain Fantastic. He's not leading the squad right now. He's deferred the captaincy across to Philip Snyman because he was out of the team for a while. That was a bit of a high shot, and that's where the advantage came from. Kyle Brown knew that they had it. So the fend and the chance and the drive and the score comes from one of the most experienced players, not only in the South African team, but on the circuit. He's made Sevens rugby a way of life.
What a beautiful strike from South Africa, former World Rugby Player of the Year. Kyle Brown, well, he couldn't fly back from the Vancouver tournament for some 3 weeks because of a chest injury, and surrendered the captaincy to Philip Snyman, as Bob Skinstead has just said. But that gives Neil Powell more options.
Just a word for South Africa and his quality kicking. That was a lovely conversion and another brilliant kick off. Restart so important.
Brown in again, but it's been illegally done, says Mike Adamson. Tilinga into the hands of Billy Mata. Oh, that's what the crowd like to see. Samisoni Veri Veri. They like to see this man in full flight, just slipping on the greasy surface there for a second. Mata once again looks to retain possession. Tilinga, lovely step off his left foot, almost gets away from Dippenaar this time. It's still there for Nayatha Levu. The offload to the captain, Kolinisau, was in at the corner when he wants to make his conversion attempt a little easier, rounded almost under the sticks. Clever work there by Hosea Kolinisau.
Yeah, that's very smart from Kolinisau. He knows how important these conversions are. South Africa was successful with both, and Fiji would need to be too.
Reached the 1,000-point landmark here on day one in Twickenham, did Hosea Kolinisau. And a simple conversion again, and it's tied up at 14 points all at half-time for a place then in the cup final here in Twickenham, the last tournament of the season.
Deep breaths first, Dave. Deep breaths first. Got plenty of running in you. I'm very impressed with that. The energy levels are very high. Well done. Defensively, I'm also happy that we're picking our rucks when we go in Bhutan, when we're having a go, eh? Keep your feet, because we won a penalty there, one of the ones, and then because we came off our feet, unfortunately, the ref's got nowhere else to go. So take the space, but stay on your feet. In attack, the big thing here is you have to track our inside ball, okay? If we're working hard, we've got to go forward, run our coaches, but the ball's going to appear back on the inside. So someone up and down that middle track. Got it? If we, from this kickoff, if look where their pods are, there's plenty of space. So your preference of kick, Oscar, choose it and then push it into those pods. And then we'll invade their space hard. You got it? Come on. 7 that are starting. Empty your tanks now because we've got a full bench. So let's go hard, eh?
Empty the tanks, says Ben Ryan. And you're into the cup final here in Twickenham.
Hasn't he got a wonderful way with the players, though? They look up to him in terms of his ability as a coach, but he's talking to them as friends. All of them, they're nodding in agreement. They want to get done what he has explained to them in strategy. It's a wonderful thing to happen. I mean, an English coach in a tiny little South Pacific island on the other side of the world and really getting what they call the balance of the change room on his side.
Bob Skin said it may be tiny, but I tell you what, when Ben Ryan was coach of England, he was a little edgy when you spoke to him, but now he's found an inner peace, and he admits to have found that inner peace in Fiji. He's a totally different person, he says, and he's now considering his options, of course, after the Olympic Games. He'd like to have a crack at coaching 15s. We'll see what comes for Ben Ryan. So let's see. Ben Ryan said, let's see where they put up their pots. There are 3 pots to tempt Osea Kulinisau. Will he kick deep? Oh, lovely take from Nayatha Lebu. Exactly what Ben Ryan wanted.
Yeah, it's a brilliant piece of play there. Philip Snyman who was very quick over the ball. Dippenaar limping in back play. There's going to have to be a change for him too.
For once, hands let the Fijians down. The pass from Jasa Verimalua. And Dippenaar on this side is still hobbling.
Means for Neil Powell, he might have to bring Roscoe Speckman on just a tad early. There's Dippenaar. He was part of that jump, the counter to that, and that's where he picked up a bump or something like it.
Yeah, it's Speckman who is coming on. I just heard on the microphone there of Mike Adamson. South Africa want to make a replacement, and Fiji likewise, they bring on big Apisa Domilai wearing 1. He's got tremendous footwork for such a big man as Domilai. Coulthard finds Kyle Brown quickly into midfield. The scissors and the reverse scissors as well. Speckman, fresh legs, look at him go. The Spider-Man, as I call him. But well hauled down inside the Fijian 10-meter line.
Well, that, for me, is just inconsistent from the referee. Exactly the same thing will happen on the other side, opposite there. But Fiji on the attack, and they'll do it very, very quickly.
But equally quick was Kyle Brown taken in the air. Surely that has to be a penalty for South Africa. Consistency of refereeing, that's what managers are asking for, but the decision has to be made split second, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. I think the referees do a fantastic job, and they're working really hard to be as consistent as possible.
In the air, cannot tackle a player in the air. Penalty, back we go. Back we go. I've penalised it, yes.
So just a penalty then. It was poor timing by the Fijian tackler. Every player needs to know his place and his purpose as well, because such a crucial game. Snyman, the captain, 15 meters out. Quick recycling that time. Cecil Africa off his right foot, sucking in 2 and 3 Fijian defenders. There should be a gap somewhere. Now then, Dylan Sage steps inside. Can he get away? Using his strength to good effect. Dylan Sage gives South Africa the lead once again.
It's a lovely piece of individual play after a very good bit of team play. They had the set piece of the tap on the ground, and South Africa played that very well, using the advantage. Watch Stage's step here. The first was good, the second was better, and the determination to get to the line was outstanding.
Let's go.
Inside once, inside again, and then straight for the line. A desperate tackle from Kitioni Talinga. Wasn't enough to stop the big man.
And a wonderful strike once more from Cecil Africa. Try scorer there, Dylan Sage. Well, South Africa had a mathematical chance of clinching the series here in London, but it was a big ask, trailing Fiji after the Paris tournament by 14 points. Well, it was never going to happen because all Fiji had to do was to reach the Cup quarterfinals. But there's a chance here for South Africa to prove a point. They've been chasing Fiji all season. It's first against second in the standings in this Cup semi-final.
Just a mistake there from Snyman. Good work from him to put pressure on. This is where Fiji are so good. They managed to split the field. Sage couldn't stop the offload there.
Varamalua almost in full flight now. Keep an eye on this guy, Jerry Tuai. Nayafalevo this time, pumping the legs. Possession is lost though. So Mike Adamson will call them back. Well, now then, coming on for South Africa in place of Francois Huchart is Siabelo Sinatla, the top try scorer this season. Fiji know all about him.
Well, they do, and you can see the Fijian faces just looking up. They realize that there's a shift around, so Huchart will come off the field, and so will Kankowski. Chris Dry comes on. He's going to be in the front row. That means Roscoe Speckman will go to the scrum half position. Sinatla plays on the wing. They've got a set move set up here. Sinatra's directly behind the scrum. South Africa into the center and Sage onto the wing. So South Africa ready to go. They've got a 7-point advantage currently.
So now we can see the whole picture and Neil Powell's thought processes. Speckman, such a danger from the base of the scrum. Oh, the bounce is brilliant into the hands of Speckman. That's an exceptional individual skill from Roscoe Speckman.
That really is brilliant from Speckman. Fiji were nonplussed. They didn't understand why Sinatla was so close to the scrum. It was just a hoax. They weren't going to play him. He held up 2 of the defenders, which meant that there was a gap at the back. There was no sweeper. They were watching the speedster Sinatla, which gave Roscoe Speckman a chance to wave at the folks at home.
So South Africa just misses with that one. But take a bow, Roscoe Speckman, and take a bow, Neil Powell.
Look at this. He knew exactly what was happening. He knew there would be space. They created it because of the doubt they'd sown in Fijian minds. And he's waving to the Blissbox fans all over South Africa and all over the world. He's a top performer for one of South Africa's favourite teams.
Yeah, one of the players that has been through the South African academy system, proving its worth certainly. He's up very quickly again to stem any attacking attempt from the Fijians inside their own 22. They love to attack from depth. They do, the Fijians. Nayafalevo to Kolinisau, turns out of the tackle, looks and gets the support from Nasilasila this time. This is Talinga. Oh, this is lovely stuff from Fiji. Domilai, one more pass. No. Doesn't need Jessa Varamalua. The big guy, Apisa Domilai, is over, and that's an excellent response from Fiji.
Brilliant play by Fiji. Apisa Domilai was the guy who scored the try, but the whole team was involved. This was the early break. Nayafalevo, he could go inside very quickly to his captain, Kolinisau, but then the width from Fiji, they are the experts of the shortened form of the game. The princes of sevens. Any one of them could have gone in for that.
No, they're still behind, aren't they? With just under 20 seconds to go, and Speckman gives chase. Speckman. Ball is out in touch. Well, they have the lead. They have a one-score advantage. Fiji want and do take it quickly. Called for by Talinga. Back on the narrow side. There is the siren. It's all on this last movement here. The last piece of play, and Fiji have possession, and they're still dangerous. They need to retain possession. Talinga almost with a breakthrough. The ball bobbles high in the air above the head of Jasa Verimalua. South Africa look to get their hands on the ball here, and there it is.
Well, it's a brilliant piece of play by Chris Dry. The whole team was involved. South Africa diving back. Siabelo Sanatle involved in the tackle, but Chris Dry was who won the ball on the ground. He was over legally on the tackle area.
South Africa kicks the ball into the stand. South Africa are through to the cup final here. They won their home tournament in Cape Town. They were finalists in Wellington, Sydney and Vancouver. They're finalists here in London.